Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Lifestyle Aesthetics coming back to you with another gym vlog where we help you level up consistently over time. So, World Cup themed, we still have the World Cup at the time of this recording. So, I got my cool little messy shirt here doing chest and arms. So, focusing on still building that upper shelf, the upper chest, some heavy incline pressing movement, and I like the machines since it's stable and I can go to full failure without having to worry of hurting myself or dropping the dumbbells or re-racking the barbell on a J hook. So all the movements that I have been doing lately for the past year now is reverse pyramid training, essentially just doing two sets where the first set is heavier, 4 to 6 reps, and then the second sets after I rest for 1 to 2 minutes, just dropping the weight, and then we go to fulfill it from 6 to 10 reps. And you can feel the nice chest squeeze there on this incline hammer chest press. So also what you want to keep in mind is that when you're doing any type of pressing movement on the machines, it is highly recommended to put your hand placement towards the middle of the handle. So that way you're hitting your chest and not your tricep. So the closer your hand is on the handle, you're hitting more of a tricep. Okay, and then we are doing some pec deck fly here. So haven't done this in a while since we've been spamming the incline pec deck fly. But this one is just as good. You get a nice deep stretch. You can hold it in the back for 1 second and then just powerfully close your hands in together to get some nice development on the chest. So yes, you can still include the weighted dips. However, I feel like I've done them enough. I'm gonna go back to them in the future, but I just want to focus on my upper chest more and then my middle chest. And then you are doing tricep extensions here. So the cool thing about doing this with the handles on a cable machine is that you are more flexible in this movement. It feels much more natural since you are extending outwards at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so people like to do it with the rope, the straight bar. I like to alternate them. So using it with the handle on the cable machine, I do feel that nice deep stretch. And you don't have to go with too much crazy weight. As long as your elbows are behind your body, holding that top stretch here for at least 1 second, you're going to feel it on your triceps. And then the recovery is good since we are doing just two sets of the chest and arms or overall for our whole workout sessions. Okay, so that's the nice thing about having two sets. You're able to push with high intensity, still get energy for your incline walks, and you don't feel soreness on your joints, on your tendons. A lot of people complain of doing 3 sets of 10, 4 sets. They don't want to go to the gym. No, just make it nice and simple. 2 sets, reverse pyramid training is the way to go. And then after you do your tricep extensions here, I'm doing an incline bicep curl, and I feel proud of myself for getting at this level of strength. I am not that massive. I still weigh just around 143 pounds at the time of this recording. And the nice thing about the incline curl is that you're forcing yourself to have more of a deep angle here, better stretch, and you will naturally get stronger. So 50 pounds was the PR that we've done here for just a few weeks now, alternating hands, and then dropped the weight by 10 pounds uh, with 40-pound curls here with the incline bicep curl. And then moving on for some forearm development. I see a lot of programs, they don't really do forearms. Some people say they naturally get them with the pulling movements, the way the pull-ups. Of course, that is possible. But for me personally, when I've been doing my weighted pull-ups, my heavy rowing movements, my forearms didn't develop as much. So in isolation for my forearms, just to make sure it keeps up with the density of my upper arms is the way to go. So these reverse curls will target the brachialis, okay, and the forearms. Next day, we're doing some shoulders and back. So starting with the neutral grip shoulder press overhead here. So adding an overhead press just for strength purposes is nice. So that way your shoulders are nice and capped. However, when you have your pushy movements in general, you're still working the front part of the shoulders. But with the neutral grip, you have some activation on the side delts. Okay, and the triceps, of course, get activated. But I just love a good overhead pressing movement for shoulders. Okay, as long as you don't do it too much and you focus on the posterior part of the shoulders and the side part, you're good to go. So here we're doing some wide grip rows here with 50 pounds. As you notice with these wide grip rows, they target the upper back, okay? And we are still supersetting this. So I've stopped using the cable machines for my posterior deltoids, my upper back. I feel like for me, this is perfect. After you do the wide grip rows, you have to power it through the reverse fly so that way your posterior deltoids get hit, okay? And the nice thing about this movement is that all you really need is a bench to be stable. You hurt your back less since you're not really standing, and then just leaning forward, putting these dumbbells under your legs as you row, and having to make sure that you row in a wide formation. Your upper back will definitely hitting the upper back will be great with the wide grip rows here with the superset of the reverse flies. And then we are somewhat ego lifting here since I've been able to do 35 pounds with no problem. So I feel like, yes, every so often, ego lifting with at least 80% good form will force your muscles to grow. You will adapt to that weight. Your nervous system will also develop and get accustomed to that weight. So with the lateral raises, you don't have to go as high when you're a beginner, but eventually you will want to get heavier weights to get nice dense muscle there that will give you a wider frame. And here we're doing some wide grip rows here for back width. So usually you would see me doing weighted pull-ups or some sort of close grip rows. I feel like my back density, the thickness is good enough, but I want to get some width here. So the trick here, okay, this is optional, but for me it's great. You will lean back just slightly, but let the weight carry you forward when you do your rowing movements, especially for your like lat pull downs as well. Um, this will help you get the nice contraction on your back. Okay, so this is the strategy I'm using here for the reverse grip lat pull downs. For the lower back, as you see, the upper back is nice and developed. Okay, you are leaning slightly back, not too much, and then letting the weight carry you forward. And then that's pretty much it for the back and shoulders. So essentially 5 to 6 movements in these 45-minute workouts, okay? You're not doing too much volume, but you are keeping the intensity high and saving time in the gym. And then when you're doing your post workout, your cardio movements, it would only take 30 to 35 minutes, even 40 if you want to get more calories burned. And I always train fasted, so that helps me to regulate my metabolism, burn more fat as I'm trying to lean down. So on today's leg day, so the third day of the split, I am doing a leg extension here with the full stack. And as you see, I'm all of my movements are essentially nice, slow, and controlled. Okay, you don't have to go too slow like a snail, but just a nice rhythm where you're not doing it too fast and you feel every contraction of the muscle that you're trying to focus on. So today I want to do a little bit different, focus more on the quad development so we are warming that up. So that way when I do my hack squat, as you notice, I'm still on 2 plates. I don't need too much weight to feel the nice contraction, the nice development on my quadriceps since we have worked them up. Okay. So for me personally, to feel, to decrease if you have any pain on your kneecaps, I am pointing my feet outward at a 45-degree angle. Okay. And that's going to make this process much more smooth, especially in the squat movements in general. Any leg pressing movement, point your feet outward at a 45-degree angle and you're not going to feel that much stress on your kneecaps. But of course, like any pressing movement for the legs, I'm doing my best to be mindful of holding that pause at the bottom stretch to force myself go up. So that way I make sure that I have the nice mind to muscle connection when I am in the gym, focused. Okay, all it takes is 45 minutes and we're doing 5 to 6 movements, 2 sets reverse pyramid training in the gym. So I'm trying to go max failure here since we have decreased the weight on the second set. All right, and then moving on to some Romanian deadlift. So, you know, this is a key movement. Your lower back, all the muscles at the back of the leg gets hit. The calves there are pumping out just slightly, so the calves, hamstrings that gets developed. You want to make sure that you have some sort of Romanian deadlift movement, some sort of hip hinge movement into your leg day, so that way you are working out on these functional movements here. So essentially 2 sets of 5. So I had a 10 plate, the 45s there, and then we just took them away. And then adding the traps is a nice thing to do for your leg day, since eventually you are going to be doing a Romanian deadlift, at least I do. So it's nice to just have this, just toss it into one of my structured routines here in the leg day to get some nice, thick, strong traps. And then we are doing the good old standing calf raises here. So I feel like my legs still might look small, but at the very least, I am carving out the calf muscles here. They are pumping out, pumping through. Um, this machine is great. So all you will need to do is put your feet front part halfway in the platform, the other half is on the air. You gotta hold that top stretch and that bottom stretch in order to make sure that you're working on your calves properly to get them nice and strong, to have that balanced look for your legs, right? So 2 sets, the first set heavy, and then second set drop the weight there. And here, just making sure if you don't have this, you can just add platforms, so like a platform or some plates, making sure that you're safe, of course, and just copy that movement. Because sometimes the calf extension machines do not have that full complete stretch, so you got to find a way to correct that. And then here we're doing some leg curls here to just finish it off with the hamstrings and calves. This is an extra credit movement that I do abide by to make sure that the posterior part of my legs get nice and developed, okay? Nice and slow. You can hold that bottom stretch. And that's essentially it for my 45-minute workouts of your chest, arms, shoulders, and back leg day. Okay, and then don't forget your cardio, get your fruit, water, and protein nutrient intake, and you should be good to go. Carbohydrate as well. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button. And I want to catch you guys on the next gym vlog.